Now we're going to get to our next talk, and I'm really, really happy to welcome on stage a true nomad, someone who's been traveling around the world, going after adventures, and today she's here to speak with us. So please help me welcome on stage Clara Schuler.
Is this thing on? Thank you for having me. Thank you for the invitation, Valencia Nomad Hub. Oh, so that's what happened before, I guess. Here I am. Oh, hello to you. So I'm Ana. I am from Brazil, and I could start this conversation by telling all the things that I've been doing professionally. So I've been creating content. I have been working as a copywriter, as a content specialist. But more than that, I think the main thing that I've been doing with my life is I'm going to where I want to go and then just discovering what I can do from there. And while we're having these conversations with people that are doing something similar, we usually get to this question, so what are you doing here in Valencia? And like for many of you, I think that is never a simple answer. It was never just, oh, I came for this job, or not for me at least. I came for studies, or I was invited, or I came for somebody. For me, as for most of you maybe, it was a sequence of facts, of opportunities, of lucky meetings with people that brought me here. And, well, I'll share some of my facts today with you that, well, we'll have to go a few years back for when I was 5 years old. And I watched this movie from Disney about this Russian princess that travels to Paris. And I decided then that I wanted to travel, not just to Paris, but I wanted to become a traveler. And to make that happen, I used all of my resources available to do that and to buy my first-class ticket to Paris. And that was drawing and writing books. So I could sell that to my family and, well, save some money so I could go. Well, spoiler, I spent all the money in a 99-cent shop, and I had a dream that didn't really come true the way I expected. I ended up going to Paris eventually, but I did not become a writer. I didn't write any books just yet. And now I'm in Valencia using my phone to create stuff, so not quite what I expected, but here I am, and I'm enjoying it. But the thing that girl taught me is that while most people had a reason to go somewhere, I just wanted to go, really. So the first opportunity that I had was to travel to Germany and study communication and marketing. And during this time, I was very lucky to meet amazing people, to connect with people that I kept seeing over the years. Met my best friend in life, that was 10 years ago. And yeah, well, one of the things that Germany taught me after all this is that even if I'm not understanding everything around me, it will work. I just have to keep going, so I find myself, okay, I'm brave enough. I can do whatever I want. If I can do Germany, I can keep going. I came back to Brazil, and I was very sad about it. Felt like going backwards in some way. But then this moment I was in Brazil put me in touch with work. So I started working with startups in Brazil, started working with content creation, with what I was studying all this time. I was saving money to travel, because that was always the goal for me as a small town girl. And because I connected with the right people, with the right jobs, started collaborating with fashion brands, with all kinds of startups, with all kinds of businesses and marketing agencies, I also learned a lot from these companies that I got involved with, and discovered that my creative line was to try to pass a message while I was doing everything that I was doing. So how can I create something good, not just create something beautiful with what I'm doing, with photography and video, but how can I pass a good message with it? And with this company called Dobra from Brazil, they had a really nice message that I think I just took for myself. So that was to make the world a cooler place. For me to continue traveling, I made 3 decisions that I think were very important so I could make that happen. Of course, all of you will have different ones. For me, I wanted to research ways that would allow me to keep traveling for longer without having to come back. And there was, okay, let's dig into my research for German citizenship. Maybe I can get that. But I don't want to just wait for that. I want to keep exploring. So how can I do that? Got myself a working holiday visa for France. They had this program with Brazil and France. I wanted to explore a different place. I wanted to improve my French. But the main thing is I didn't want to wait for an invitation, for an opportunity, for a job, for somebody to call me. I just wanted to go by myself. And I think that's the main thing that happened to me. So that took me to France. I went to France as a freelance copywriter from Brazil. And it's also interesting to say that all of the things in this picture were collaborations and jobs that I had from Brazil. So I was creating content for a suitcase brand, I was creating content for a jewelry brand. And then when I settled a bit more, I was creating for local businesses in Strasbourg, the city that I was. So I was not Emily in Paris, I was Anna in Strasbourg. Not quite the dream, but still like closer, I guess. Started connecting with local businesses, creating for restaurants, well, all kinds of things, really. Well, it felt like I was living the dream. I had the apartment, I had the friends, I had a good life, I had the IKEA furniture, everything cool. But then my visa was coming to an end. I had to leave after this 1-year visa. I had to leave it all behind. So if there's something that France taught me, that was detachment. But the more you leave, the lighter you travel and the further you go. If you travel with a backpack, you probably know that it's best to leave what you can behind, and that makes you go further. But what if I didn't go back to Brazil? What if I just kept going? Where could I go? Well, I couldn't stay in Europe because my visa was over. So that takes me to the UK. I could not work legally in the UK. So I discovered these work exchange platforms. I wasn't rich or anything, so I had to find a way to stay in the UK, which is quite expensive. So I could help with some work during the day, and then I could sleep for free. And that's how I spent 4 months in the UK, survived well. And that also happened while I was collaborating, getting invitations for content creation from pubs and bars and restaurants in London. Then I was doing the same in Edinburgh, so I was in between London and Edinburgh. Met amazing friends again that I kept seeing. I'm still seeing people from these pictures these days, so that's amazing. And the main thing that happened during this time in the UK that I discovered, that we all know, is that connection takes you to places. I met 2 Scottish boys that had a plan to travel in South America. I already had no money after this period in the UK. After the time in France, I was not working in a traditional job. But what should I do? Should I accept? Should I join? I think I should join. So that takes me to South America with no money, no job, no nothing, just these side jobs that I was doing and content creation. But if there's something that South America taught me is that I could still keep going, I would find a way to survive. So we went to many places in South America. It started in Colombia. And the funny thing is that we stayed from hostels, because that's what normal backpacking life could afford. But I was also staying in 5-star hotels and resorts, experiencing luxury restaurants, all because I was approaching them and this kind of job would happen. So it seems like it could be the perfect setting, but it all happened because I learned some things. I had the courage that I learned in Germany. I knew from Brazil that I could make something nice for a brand. I knew how to tell a story. I knew I could work with photography. I knew these things I could do. And France just taught me that I didn't need much stuff. I could just go with a backpack and my phone, and I could make things happen. So skills travel. I didn't need much more than that. So just some of the examples. I was creating for Heineken, some restaurants in London, resorts in Peru, and for seasons in Colombia. So because I was living all that, it was not because I had a perfect job, perfect setting or anything, or the money to live all that. But so I stopped measuring these opportunities by the money and started measuring them by the skills that I had. I was back to Brazil, and then it felt like, okay, I'll start over again with no money, no job. But if there's something I know, okay, I can do it again as many times as I can. I have my backpack. I did some freelance jobs when I was there. I just had a response from my German citizenship process, so at least I had a German passport, and I kept creating some content while I was there. Some other clients that I had were festivals in Brazil, trains in Peru too, and other restaurants and things, so just examples. And then I chose Valencia. That's how I ended up here. So how did I choose Valencia? To answer that question, I go back to Germany 10 years ago. That best friend that I met, she told me Valencia is the place to be. And I was like, I didn't know much about it, to be honest with you. I didn't know all of this was happening here. So I came. She had a room that was easy to rent, and for me, that was enough at the time. Came, The beginning, anyway, is not easy. I wish I had the book that you guys are developing or knew about all this, so it would make my life a lot easier. But the beginning, anyway, is easy. I was teaching Portuguese. I was doing collaboration. I was going to the library to escape the heat wave, all of that. So Valencia was another time of starting over again. But then after 5 months, I remember it was May, I woke up and I realized I am still alive, like I've been eating every day, like it's going to be okay. I think I will survive. I could survive anyway. Like I can work in a cafe. I don't mind, like I'm okay. It would work. So after that moment, I just think that life started flowing in a whole different way. Kept creating, kept writing for myself, started making really good friends, was hired as a full content specialist by a company here in Spain that work with boats, and they are an amazing team. I'm very happy and lucky to work with them. And all this makes me think that Valencia is one of the best seasons of my life, I guess. Look at this. Maybe for you. So that's quite cool. And one of the best learnings I had over the last years, I think, that is, it doesn't hurt to be a bit delusional, to believe in it, to take the step, and the path will surely follow. So why am I here? I didn't really know before, and you probably are, many things brought us all here today, but for me, maybe one of the things is to just tell you that the next chapter is just one decision away, so maybe choose to go and choose a good story to live. That's it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Wow, this is a true nomad story, right? Like, this girl has traveled. Okay, so